This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
I'm Cheney Crab.
Navene Copperweiss here, NK.
Shout out to our sponsors, Direct Sound Headphones, Moon Juice CBD by Jade Rabbit. I really like my Direct Sound headphones. I've been using them to track.
Yeah. We got our boy Raanen Bozzio back.
Round 2. You're the first person who has done the podcast twice, Raanen.
I know. I knew we would set all sorts of milestones, you know?
This is a milestone. The first person to do it twice. I was thinking...
The guest's so nice you had to have me twice.
That's right.
That's true. You are a good guest.
And with that, we're going to crack open a little brewski.
Nice.
Hi-yo!
Hey now.
Oh, wait. Is that a Vox and Hops brew?
Yes.
What is
Do you see our friend Eddie Torres, rock and roll beer guy? I don't really listen to podcasts. And that's this beer that I'm drinking right now as I'm on a podcast.
Oh.
So, you know, we're breaking ground today.
What kind of a beer is that?
It is a modern American lager. It's really nice, actually. It's nicely hopped, but it's still chuggable. And that's a good thing. That's what we wanted. We wanted as if I was part of this.
The conglomerate of Raanen.
Eddie wanted, by way of my influence, Eddie wanted, something that you could chug and like something you could drink when you're in the parking lot of the Comedy Store. You know what I mean? Something you could just crank down before you got to go in and pay for two $12 Coors Lights, you know?
Right. It's a pre-gamer.
So wait, your friend has a podcast and made that beer?
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah. I know him as well. Eddie? I don't think Navene knows him, but I know Eddie.
Eddie's the fucking man. He has a great podcast called Rock and Roll Beer Guy Podcast. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has all our homies on it.
I've done it. Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. And when I was on that podcast at the time, I knew nothing about beer. It was probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it was before I got really into going to breweries and drinking beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got a good podcast. But what have you been up to, Raanen?
OMG. All sorts of shit. Life is ramping back up, guys. We're back. We're back in action. I'm playing shows every freaking weekend. I got my, last month, or what was it, May or June, my whole calendar for July and August just filled up.
Okay.
It was amazing.
It's so funny because, that's the new band that you're in?
Chainflower, and then I'm also doing this California country band called Mike Dawson and the Smoking Kills. Okay. And I'm doing my cover band, Mothership, and I'm just doing, one-off gigs, whatever. Whoever will hire me, whenever they'll hire me.
What kind of covers you guys do?
Everything from Foo Fighters to Led Zeppelin, baby.
All right. Any Three Doors Down in there or what?
No, dude, I wish, man. I think we almost did a Nickelback song one time, though. I tried to guess to "This Is How You Remind Me."
That was like the first Nickelback hit, I think.
That was, dude.
There's a song that Chad Kroeger did with the vocalist of Saliva.
Yes,
called Hero.
On the wings of an eagle.
Yeah, I fucking love that song. I really like that song. I can't,
So you do vocals in the cover band, obviously. Right?
yeah, 100%. Actually though, for the country band, they gave me a vocal mic, and I haven't sang.
Big mistake.
Yeah. Keyword gave.
Because you're gonna start talking. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, you guys know me so well. I'm really glad that this.
You get a mic. Are you speaking in between songs now? You're doing like a little.
Oh, 100.
I know. That's why you have a mic.
So for Dawson and Smoky Kills, we played Austin the other day, and we flew out. It was like a 26-hour day, just flew in that morning, flew out the next morning.
Damn.
And I haven't been singing any background vocals or whatever, but I've been playing these songs enough, and it's pretty easy shit. The drum beats aren't complicated enough to where I have to think about it while singing. I could just sing this shit, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So they were for some reason they decided to give me a vocal mic on the Austin show. And I was like, I'm probably not going to use this. You know what I mean? Cut to about 4 beers later.
Right.
And I'm I'm singing, "You can go to hell, I'm going to Texas," and all this shit. And then, dude, as soon as I'm all about the in-between banter, and I had to cut a promo on the Austin crowd because they were being very LA.
Okay.
It was not a typical Austin crowd. So I gave it to him. I was like, yo, it's funny that we're playing all these songs about Southern California because this feels like Southern California in that I'm watching an LA show and everybody has their arms fucking crossed, negative, you know what I mean? Standing there at their phone. I thought this is fucking Texas. Get the fuck up, get wild, blah, blah, blah. You got to abuse them a little bit.
Yeah, you riled them up.
Now, did it work? Did that work? Or did
it worked? It 100% worked.
Awesome.
I negged them a little bit and then they came back.
All right. Nice.
But you know what? I need to take a pause real quick for the cause because not that I'm advertising anything right now.
For the cause.
But I wanted to do this before we got started, but this is how we go. We just roll into the conversation.
Yeah.
I got some of that shit that fucking Uncle Joey smoked. I got the Joey Diaz weed right here.
Damn.
And in honor of Uncle Joey, we got to do a big ass banger.
That's awesome.
Before we get this started.
What strain?
It is.
Seems like you're getting it started for sure.
I know it's getting started.
Let's see. What is this? I don't know. I think it's just. I don't know, but it's called Laughing Gas. It's good shit.
Sick.
I'm into it.
That's probably the strain. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, that wouldn't be laughing gas. That would be mental institution, padded room.
It would be laughing gas for me because I'd be laughing at how high you would be.
Maybe that would be the gas they'd have to give me to calm me down. No, that wouldn't work though. I'd be out of my. I don't know. I'm really
paranoia gas. That's like the stuff that the Joker gives.
Yeah.
And,
actually, on the last episode, like I hurt my back. Not on the episode, but this is a story. I hurt my back, and then.
God damn it! I was really hoping that somehow during the episode you hurt his back.
Yeah, I tried to do a backflip, and no. Then Cheney,
you had just a really like colorful response to something. You're just my back.
That would suck. Actually,
I'll be right back.
Might make for a funny podcast, but yeah, we like Cheney got these CBD gummies, but they have like some THC in it.
Just a touch of THC to remind you of the good old days.
And dude, I took like a sliver of it, and it was like I figured out that I think I had 1 milligram.
1 milligram.
Yeah, 1 milligram. And I was kind of stoned. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm that much of a lightweight when it comes to weed. Well, I mean, if you don't smoke all the time, it just is. It's brutal.
Yeah, no shit. So you took it, and that's how you hurt your back, like eating.
No.
CBD?
I hurt my back like last Sunday just doing squats, being an idiot.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's been like real hurt.
Dude, that fucking happened to me. Oh my God. It's so crazy. So right after we had our last podcast, I was talking about how like amazing my life was and how I'm just on top of the fucking world. Boom. I got hit with the Magic 3, dude.
Yeah.
All sorts of fucked up shit happened. So like 1, my car got totaled. 2, I hurt my back.
Yeah.
And 3, like I couldn't work out or work for like 2-3 weeks. So it just like fucked me. And I kept trying to go back to work and kept re-hurting my back. And it was just like a fucking vicious cycle. And it's the most depressing thing, especially when you want, like, I've been kind of on this journey of trying to pack on the pounds of muscle. And it's like, oh, cool. Now I have to do absolutely fucking nothing for 2 weeks. Like it was hard to like even lay down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's where I'm at. Laying down isn't that great.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Cool. Not that great.
Navene Copperwise 2021. Laying down is not that great.
But I'm feeling a lot better. I think by next week I'll feel pretty good. But I guess I haven't really cared though, to be honest. It's just kind of like, all right.
Yeah, dude, you're very zen. I could tell by your dashiki right now. You know what I mean? You've come full circle, dude.
That's true.
I love it.
A little bit. I usually wear metal shirts, but before the podcast, I was like, Cheney, I think I'm going to wear this shirt my mom gave me.
Yeah, dude. Very, very Middle Eastern vibes. Very, Navene has gone full Indian for sure.
Yeah, I haven't actually gone full Indian.
You haven't?
No.
Not really.
I don't know.
You were for a hot minute there, though.
Just my name.
He was definitely edging on going full Indian for a minute.
Yeah. This whole thing.
I read a lot of Indian books.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And the whole look is very like, George Harrison coming back from his fucking his pilgrimage to fucking wherever the fuck he went.
That's what I'm. I guess that's not really what I'm going for, to be honest.
What are you going for?
I'm going for more just like, oh, that guy's like kind of spiritual, but also kind of goth spiritual.
Yeah, I get a lot of poetry vibes.
No, I'm not into poetry though, to be honest.
Or museums.
Not into poetry, or just not into poetry.
No, I'm not into I don't like museums or poetry. Or anything.
No.
You don't like museums?
He does not like
I
museums.
might like them now though, because
museums are dope as fuck, bro. Poetry is what's whack for sure.
Yeah.
Poetry is not whack either. Both of these things are
poetry
great.
on its own is 100% super
No,
whack.
I mean there's some poetry that's whack, like slam poetry. I mean,
that's what I'm like. That's when I think of poetry, I think of somebody up there like. And it's
in
like
the 90s.
It's not even poetry. Sometimes they're just saying shit. It's just like sentences.
Yeah,
that's very much how all poetry sounds to me. It's just
where the fuck?
No, but there is some really good poetry. Sylvia Plath,
absolutely.
great poet.
All of our, all lyrics are poetry, right? You know, or I would say. So I mean, I love lyrics.
Some lyrics are just like. I
just
guess
one of those
poetry.
days when you won't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks.
Yeah, there's some awful lyrics out there, though. I don't know. What's the difference between a lyric and poetry?
I think you would know that more than us, right, Cheney?
It's the same thing to me. I mean, I don't know.
I would say just music is added to it. You know what I mean? Right. Or melody is added to it. Because for the most part, too, also lyrics do rhyme. Like I would say 95% of lyrics like rhyme, whereas like 90% of poetry doesn't fucking rhyme anymore. Like nobody gives a shit. It's just like, I woke up this morning and I've turned on the lamp and the flies buzzed by my eyes.
But if it rhymes, it's called a rhyme. If it rhymes, it's called a rhyme. It's a certain kind of poetry, like a haiku. You know? So a haiku is like
couplet.
What's a couplet? I know a haiku is relying on syllables, but
it's a kind of poem. It's something from English class. I don't remember really, but
Cheney, sorry.
There are some good poems.
Suck, and you kind of actually know what you're talking about, and we're
you guys are
just drummers.
You guys are just openly bashing poetry without knowing anything about it.
I'm being like hyperbolic, obviously.
Right.
Poetry haters are us. Right here.
And as far as museums go, I'm usually just like waiting to get lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we go?
I remember we went to the Met. Was it the Met or was it the MoMA?
Yeah,
I don't know what it's called
in New York.
In New York City, and Navene just like could not wait to get out of that museum, and I was
like, let's go eat.
Looking at every. Yeah.
Although I think I might like them now because
you're dressing more poetic.
I'm dressing more spiritual. For starters,
when you have a man bun, for sure, it starts to affect your brain.
Yeah.
It goes through.
It grows into your brain.
And I haven't drank in 2 months.
Oh,
so I might be so bored that I'm down to go to a fucking museum. You know
is this a conscious decision to drink less, or is this just an experiment? What's going on here? What's going on through the mind of Navene?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really say. I think
I've been drinking a lot over the past 2 months. I've been drinking more than I have in a long time.
It's kind of a lot of reasons, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's how we were for a long period of time during the pandemic. We were just like drinking a lot. Not anything serious, but we were just drinking more than normal, and neither of us were really working out. Yeah. And I think that once we started going back to the gym, everything just kind of aligned. When you go to the gym a ton, you're not really drinking as much just because you want to be in that swing of things.
Oh yeah. The past month of workouts has been so hard. I've just had like friends visiting, going to Austin, doing all this shit, drinking, and just caring a little bit less about it, trying to, overcompensate in the gym. But yeah, those like the day after drinking workouts are the worst.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's not really about the gym for me. It's pretty much just more like, okay, I'm 36 And let's see, I started like casually drinking when I was probably like, I don't know, 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so since 18 to now, like I've associated fun with drinking. You know? Not saying I'm not like an alcoholic or anything. Like it was not hard for me to just not drink. It's like whatever, it doesn't matter. But I'm just kind of like, let me see what's up with just like not drinking. You know, like I'm going to this thing that I go to with my dad at his friend has a cabin and they have like a horseshoe playing tournament with a bunch of like 50 men go.
Married
And usually
guys.
everybody, they're like, oh, let's get away from the family and go,
Leave
play
the wife
horseshoes.
behind.
This is,
The old
this is
ball and
fucking what
chain.
happens when you stop drinking for 2 months. You think it's a good idea?
No.
Go play
Okay,
horseshoes.
so
No, they do it every year.
So
They
usually-
they do it every year.
Usually I go to that and I drink the whole entire time. That's what everybody does.
Oh, but
So-
this time you're gonna try to not,
I'm going this time sober. We're going to see what's up with it. Yeah.
bro.
Gonna see
Prayers,
how it
prayers
goes.
be with you, dude.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I would do that. I just personally,
You know,
I've drank like maybe 3 drinks in the time that he's been taking this time off, but drinking just, I can go without it. I've always been more of a pot smoker, and drinking is just, it kind of makes me feel like crap.
Yeah.
After 1 or 2 drinks, it's ruined the rest of my day. I can't really be productive at anything once I start drinking. And it just like, it's a downward spiral because then you eat like crap as well. So it's like, it's easy to cut that out for me.
100%. Yeah, I'm very much the same way. And like, I like to drink because I like drinking beer. Like, I like the
Me
taste
too.
of beers.
Yeah.
Nothing better in
I
the
know.
world.
I
On a
agree.
hot
eating-
day.
Eating fried food, some sort of French fried thing.
Yeah.
I really, I'm a big fan of that takoyaki, the fried octopus, little like balls. You know what I mean? They're so delicious. It's amazing, right? With fucking beer, like when you take that bite of that fried food and then you sip that beer, you take a bite of like a big juicy burger, whatever the fuck. It could be a plant-based burger for y'all. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference. And you wash it down with that beer, the way that the beer expands and the bubbles and all the liquid, and especially with all this hoppy stuff nowadays, the counterbalance
IPAs.
of the palate. And I'm like a big stout guy. I'm a stout, porter, dark ale, brown ale. The blacker the better, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just love that. Like that combination is something that, like, especially for like weekends, like Friday and Saturday, I have to just like eat bullshit and drink some fucking beer. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
nice
that's,
to do.
But yeah, the problem is the past month, it's definitely been dipping into the Tuesdays and the Thursdays and the
that is what
today's
happens.
That's what
Sunday.
happens. Yeah.
But
Right.
it's okay. It is what it is.
Oh,
I think we kind of switched personality. You guys got less into drinking. I got more into drinking. We transferred energy.
Absolutely.
Even Steven.
Well, don't you kind of feel like it has ebbed and flowed drinking? Because Navene and I will both be kind of on this kick every so often. Like we'll do a tour and not drink. It's easier when we do it together because there's not one person tempting the other.
Yeah.
But then there will be times like over Corona when we were drinking a lot, and on a Tuesday we'd be like, let's go to
get
happy
apps
hour.
and drinks.
Exactly.
Fuck
But
yeah.
then I think that we have similar personalities where it's like once we get to that point where we're overindulging so much that it makes us stop and question what we're doing, we both like flip it around and go back to the gym and everything.
Yeah.
But it's not an addictive personality either way. It's just something that ebbs and flows with being into different things at different times.
But yeah, I think this is the longest I've gone without like drinking at all. Because even when I didn't drink last time, I would drink here and there because I was doing it more for fitness stuff. So I'd be like, all right, I'll just hit one day on the weekend or whatever, have a couple of drinks. But yeah, it's definitely weird.
Yeah, the most I did not
weird
drinking
and not
is 1 month, but like not drinking is the one that I could definitely do way easier. Like there's been times where it's like, I'll go 2-3 weeks, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the weed thing, I took like a month off smoking weed and it was the hardest month of my life.
Really?
I didn't know you smoked that much.
I've only stopped smoking weed when I've been somewhere where I couldn't, where I didn't have access to it, like Europe.
Yeah.
Some places in Europe, you just cannot find weed. And I don't smoke spliffs. So, I don't smoke tobacco. So if someone shows up with a spliff, I'm definitely not smoking it. Yeah, no.
Yeah, see, with me, it was like, I got into the whole sober October craze, tried to do the Joe Rogan thing, with those guys. And it was like alcohol, no problem. But like weed was a fucking struggle. Like I had nightmares almost every night.
Wow.
About something trying to kill me or chase me or like hunting me down. Every, like, I would say 20 nights out of the 30 days or whatever the fuck, I was like having these dreams where I was just running from something.
Wow.
It was really weird. Yeah,
That's
really,
crazy.
really bizarre stuff. But, it is what it is. And like there was times, especially when I was doing the keto diet, like when I would be on keto, I would have nightmares about like girlfriends, like love loss and like heartbreak and stuff like that. And then when I wasn't on keto, I would have nightmares about that. When I was keto, I would have nightmares about breaking my diet.
Yeah.
I would wake up and be like panicking, like, fuck, I just ate those cheese fries. Like, what the fuck is my problem? I was doing so good. And I was like, oh, it was all just a dream. Thank fucking God. Like my willpower is stronger than that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like some weird, deep psychological shit.
I think I've had a dream like that where I had like started drinking and I was like, man, I should have just like not done it. Should have just kept it real.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of, what triggers that, if it is like the internal craving that you're having and your kind of pleasure zones are kind of sparking at that, or like if it's just like maybe deeper psychological shit, because they talk about like whatever things that happen in dreams that might have meaning. So like I remember one thing, like teeth had to do with like money, like teeth represents money for some reason. And like, I remember fish represents like an idea, because like I had a girlfriend who had a dream that all her teeth were falling out, like this like reoccurring dream. Her teeth were falling out.
I have that a lot. I have like a teeth grinding dream where my teeth will like disintegrate. I legit
grind my teeth at night.
Yeah, I grind my teeth, but at night I will have dreams about grinding my teeth and them disintegrating and all falling out.
I think I've heard that if your teeth fall out in a dream, it means that there's going to be like a change in your life.
So maybe, a lot of positive changes going on. And I remember I had a dream where I was trying to save a goldfish. Like I had like a goldfish in this like a tank aquarium. Yeah. And it was in an aquarium where like there was aggressive fish that would like kill it. But there was nothing to like put it into, like no cup of water or whatever. So I was like holding this goldfish in the little like the skimmer, you know what I mean? And like basically drawing it back and forth from like these piranhas and shit, like making sure that the goldfish didn't get eaten, but was still like underwater. You know what I mean? One of those weird things.
Dreams are real weird.
Did you ever look that up? Just to see if anyone else
well, I looked up the fish thing, and it was like, fish represents ideas. So perhaps it was the idea of me trying to save some sort of idea, some sort of creative idea, or, what have you. Probably had something to do with the band or music, and me trying to keep something together, but like having this strife of, oh shit, like this idea is in a tank full of ideas that want to kill it. You know what I mean?
Well, on a psychological level as well, that seems like it could be about feeling unsafe in a situation that you're in life, or just some deep hidden feeling of unsafeness that you have from being a child or something like that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, my late teens, early 20s, there was a lot of unsafeness, unsurety. If that's a word, surety, sure. Let's say it
What's
is.
the word?
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. There we go.
Uncertainty.
But we can keep saying unsurety if you want to.
Can we make unsurety a shirt? Because we're gonna have
unsurety.
Unsurety. So like, I mean, there was so much, like fear of the unknown. What the fuck was happening? There's like, my parents had gotten a divorce. I had to start taking care of my mom. I was like working 2 jobs, trying to take care of her, do all this shit, like trying to make my music career happen. all this stuff. There's a lot of crazy like strife and stress and like struggle.
Yeah.
But getting through that has been fucking incredible. It's only made me come out the other side so much better, like so much more powerful, like so much more comfortable and like accepting of whatever might happen in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's because it's 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react, you know?
Oh, absolutely. We were on a huge kick of watching that show Intervention, and it seems like every addiction is a pivot from a situation like that. What happened to you, you can either take it the way that you took it into positivity and make change in yourself in good ways, or you can go down the road of, now I'm a drug addict because my parents got divorced and I was taking care of my mom and I couldn't cope with it in any other way. So I'm like just going down this road of suffering and addiction.
Yeah, I had way just too much of a feeling of like responsibility. You know what I mean? I feel like those people, whatever, not to judge because it happens to everybody. I'm probably like a mild weed addict, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
same.
I smoke a fair amount, but like at the same time, like weed isn't destroying my life for sure. It's only for the most part improved it. Things that an addict says.
You don't understand, man.
What's that?
I said, you don't understand, man. You don't get it.
Dude,
I need it.
for real. Well, you know, like you're into some crazy shit when, like, at least for me and just how far I take weed and how I use it. When you're in a band with like other people or some sort of group and like the drunk guy starts to try judging, like, or the guy who does coke or meth or whatever starts to be like, you just sit there, smoke that weed all the time, blah, blah, blah. It's like, motherfucker, you have no fucking idea. Like, you're so delusional in your fucking little world, you know? I mean, whatever, It is what it is. Everybody's fucking on their journey. We're all just walking each other home, right? As old Baba Ram Dass says.
Right.
But
so that was in your late teens. You moved to LA pretty much like right after that, right? Because you were probably only like 21 when you moved out to LA.
Yeah, I was 21 exactly. Like it was 3 months into being 21. My last commitment in Austin was South by Southwest. We played like a couple shows, and I got to open for Periphery, which was the fucking like dream come true. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, glad I stuck around those extra couple months. But like, we kind of made the decision when I turned 21 that like, all right, all my bands are dying down. Like, I had just been like fired from a job. Like, it was just nothing was going on in Austin.
Yeah.
Like, I got to go back to LA and figure shit out one way or another. See what happens. I had just seen a friend who was telling me like, man, I just did this audition for like Ashley Tisdale. And like, you would have been perfect for it. Like, you should be in LA doing this shit. Cause like, you're getting these calls all the time. Like, this stuff is fucking happening. So I'm like, cool. I fucking got all into it and made the hop back, which it's kind of weird moving back to LA, you know what I mean? Like from Austin. Cause it's like, all right, technically like I'm not moving away from home. Like I'm moving back home, but back home is like this fucking concrete jungle full of fear. You know what I mean? Like, and anxiety and stress and all these crazy things and the unknown that like, if you're not in it every day, it could be really shocking. It could be, really brutal. And not only that, all the other things that were compounded in my life. It was fucking wild, but it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I've been here back 10 years and my life has only gotten better. You know, I've met and had my life enriched in so many incredible ways, including living with you guys. One of the best times of my life. I'll never forget crazy. That, you know.
I can't believe that was already like 5-6 years ago, right? Or maybe even more than that.
Bro, it was fucking 8 years ago.
Damn. It was like 9 years ago, you guys. It was in 2012.
Damn.
It is 2021 right now. It was 9 years ago.
So fucking insane how quickly time has flown and like crazy. Fucking human beings that we've become since then or from that, you know. Like absolutely. I remember all that shit. I remember the day that you guys were like, we're going to move back to Santa Cruz. And it was like, it was like heartbreaking. I was like, oh man, they're fucking going. And then I was out of that house like right after you guys or like probably around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is that a reminder just popped up on my Facebook today of a status that I made today, 9 years ago that said, we're moving back to Santa Cruz at the end of the month.
Damn.
Damn,
That's crazy.
dude, that was the summer of fucking love, dude. We had like the summer fucking party. When did we moved over there? March? It was
Yeah, I
like
think
March
so.
to August. We had a good 4 or 5 month run.
It
Yeah.
seemed way longer than that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Well, because we were already hanging out so much before that, you know.
and I think just being young, you know,
Yeah.
it seemed,
Yeah.
well, now in hindsight, it seems like it took over such a long period of time, but it really didn't.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
moved to LA like right when I did.
Yeah, exactly. I remember we were talking about the whole fucking thing. We were all getting hyped.
Yeah.
I think we were in Austin when Animals was playing some show.
Yeah.
And I remember like talking about it and being all fucking stoked. It was just like, fuck yeah, dude, we're both moving to LA. Like at the same time we ate some fucking Wendy's, bro. I think that's the Thursday tour.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude.
And where did you live when you moved to LA?
I lived in Austin before that.
No. Where did you live when you first moved to LA? When we were still living
downtown. Remember my downtown apartment y'all came into?
Oh, the place that we went and Intronaut was there as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, my
Timnick
timeline my timeline is so fucked up in my head. I thought that was after we lived together, but I guess it was before.
No, it was before because I remember like the time was kind of closing in on that place that I was living at.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not going to be able to afford this much. And Navene was telling me like, yeah, I'm probably going to move in with Keen. I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And then like we hung out with Keen a couple times and like I started hitting it off with him. And then he was like, and Navene was like, yo, we should like both, like Keen has another room. Like you should get that other room.
Oh, okay.
I was like, fuck yes, dude. Sounds like the best fucking idea ever. And I remember we were fucking at the Animals house. Like we had just gone out partying before that. And it was just me and you. And we were fucking drunk as fuck, slamming shots of fucking rum, Bacardi Silver. Cause that was like the cheapest shit you could get. I remember
sounds
CVS Bacardi was always cheaper than like any other alcohol that you could get that wasn't like Taka vodka, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we did shots of Bacardi. We were just like, we were fucking up in arms, smiling, like fucking shaking hands and hugging like every 5 minutes, just knowing that we're gonna live together and doing fucking chin-ups. There was like a chin-up bar outside. We'd fucking take shots and do chin-ups and just be like, fuck yeah, dude, this is gonna be the best ever, man.
That's amazing.
It was, man. It was such a good time, dude. Grilling and chilling.
Oh yeah, grilling and chilling.
I remember the skewers fucking scenario. Navene came all through with the skewers and had that be like, that was like the theme of the fucking summer. We had skewers going every fucking day.
Yeah, totally.
And fruity beverages.
Dude, the fucking, what was it? The PMG, like the...
Oh yeah!
Something mango guava or
yes!
whatever.
What was it?
Yeah. BMG, maybe it was banana mango.
I don't know.
I know passion fruit mango guava.
That's what it was.
BMG.
That's what it fucking was. Whoa. Yeah, I remember that you would always say the juice is loose every time. Every time you walked by Navene grilling chicken, and neither of us knew what it was for fucking years, and we would quote it. Thinking that
we
it
talked
was
about this
thinking
last
that,
time
oh really?
I
forgot, but we would quote it thinking that you made it up and we were quoting Raanen, and then we finally realized when we saw an OJ documentary that it was about him.
Well, and it was from two things. It was also from Starburst. The Starburst commercial was the juice is loose,
oh, really?
And then they used that when the Bronco chase happened. But you know, this is like the perfect fucking transition to kind of go back to the last podcast, the cliffhanger that we left off of.
Yeah, what was
because before I was cleaning my room.
We should have gone back and like listened to the episode, but we were recording up until we got on. So
here's the fucking beauty, guys. Here's the beauty. I was cleaning my room, getting it ready for this podcast, and old Raanen listened to the last 10 minutes of the fucking podcast. So boom, your boy came through with some notes.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just some reminders because we know how we all get. We're drinking, smoking weed. Well, I'm drinking, smoking weed, whatever. And
I'm stone cold. I haven't even had a coffee today.
I remember. That's hard.
I'm on pre-workout and an edible.
That's a hardcore combination. Watch out with that. It could give you a heart murmur, you know. So where we left off was Warped Tour with Cameron Loesch from Board of Osiris.
Oh, okay.
And he has to go to Mexico. Right. And he sells me the rest of his 2 CI for very cheap. Oh, basically, he gave us like 4, 5, 6 pills for like $10. I was like, okay, I'll take it, bro.
Got it.
Deal.
Got it.
So I take the 2 CI. Cameron takes the 2 CI. He starts fucking tripping. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, he's not like wigging out, but he's like, yeah, I'm definitely like seeing shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking to myself, little precursor for those of you who didn't watch episode 1, go back and listen to it anyway, because there's so much gold on there. But 2CI is a synthetic acid, purely visual trip, not psychological. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, I think I can speak for all of us when it's like, yeah, we didn't have any like weird mental shit. It was just like literally there was like a fucking kaleidoscope over our eyes.
Somewhat mental for sure for me.
Yeah, the viewfinder, the viewfinder effect was kind of what I was having. So yeah, Cameron's fucking feeling it, and like I have these weird, I call it the Bozzio drug genes, where it's like some shit does not affect me as well as it does others. And granted, sometimes those are famous last words by me, and sometimes I end up going a little too hard.
You're like, I got this, bro.
But for the most part, I usually have to take more of whatever everybody's taking. Like, that's why I stopped taking Molly like 3 or 4 times. Like the first time that we all did it, of course, it was fucking amazing. But like the last 3 times that I did it, like I felt nothing. I was just like, all right, I'm done with this. Like I have to pay too much money to fucking do this shit. Yeah, like it was weird. Like I felt like I was about to start rolling, and then it just like, but maybe that's also because my serotonin levels are just naturally fucking juiced up, you know. But it is what it is. So yeah, I wasn't feeling anything. And Warped Tour kind of ends. Afterwards, they have like a barbecue where everybody's fucking eating stupid hamburgers and fucking hot dogs, and still nothing. So then on the way back to our place in Van Nuys, we stopped by Feldy's studio, right? John Feldman, who's like this fucking big ass producer. If those of y'all don't know, he's from the band Goldfinger, and he produced fucking everything, like pop punk and kind of edgy shit. You know what I mean? Like that late 2000s
alternative
stuff.
rock.
Yeah, like the Used type stuff.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't even say alternative. Like more on the emo side like of things, but like that kind of edge of shit. Like
Box of Sharp Objects. Did he do that?
I'm sure. Just like Ashley Simpson, like everything from Ashley Simpson.
Yeah, she's on
like
the hard set, the hard rock.
Blink 182. No, but you know what I mean. It kind of had that emo-y pop.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Ashley Simpson, maybe didn't. I don't even fucking know.
I think it was alt leaning. It was like an answer like, to Avril Lavigne, perhaps.
Yeah, like all the stuff like what is it? Say Anything, and like bands like that. I feel like it was that kind of a vibe. You know, Boys Like Girls, whatever. You know, that was this producer, and so. We had a friend who was his engineer, Brandon, and he was Casey's roommate. That's how we knew him.
Oh, yeah.
So Casey Sable, back to listen to episode 1, guys, do your homework. And so we're at Feldy's studio, sitting around like still waiting for this shit to happen. And then I'm looking at the Pro Tools stems and shit, and like they start to move. And I'm like, hey, like, are those moving? Like, is that like animated or something? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's fucking working, right? 12 o'clock, whatever. We drive home. We get back to Van Nuys. Yeah, it's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, the drive home from Feldy's studio, the trip is fucking starting to come. I'm seeing the lines in the fucking road start to blur and shit. Obviously not driving. But yeah, like I'm feeling it. So I come in and they're like you guys had just made some fucking bomb ass food. I don't know what it was. It was like maybe tofu something or another. But
we were awake. It was late, and I know that we were awake.
Yeah,
you guys were awake for some reason or another, and you're like, hey, buddy, like what's going on? And I'm like, I'm on drugs, guys. And Navene's dad mode comes in. Certainly, he's like, oh man, like what can we do for you? Like, you need some like water, like you want some food? Like, here, we just made some food. Like, we have some left over. I was like, oh, awesome. And I like cranked down that fucking tofu. It was so good. And then you guys are like, you're like, what the fuck is this shit that you're doing? Yeah. And I'm like, 2CI, I have 2 more pills. Like, do you guys want to do this shit?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, fuck it. At 1 o'clock in the morning, you guys pop these 2 CIs and it fucking cranks in like right away for you guys. It's not even like 20, 30 minutes. You guys are fucking like feeling it. So all 3 of us get on the fucking same level and we're in this like synchronicity fucking psychedelic journey, you know? And together, like you said, like laying on your bed, we're listening to Serious Mo. And like the fucking just talking about life and like looking at the fucking ceiling and just like the show on the ceiling was so amazing.
I remember Iggy, my cat, walking in the room and he looked like he had been drawn in like Lisa Frank's style.
Exactly. That was, and we all 3 of us thought that. Yeah. And that was the fucking crazy thing. It's like usually when you're on psychedelics, you're like, hey bro, are you seeing this? And they're like, no, like I don't have the same, like it's not the same shit. No, but like we all were seeing the same fucking thing. It was like, whoa, like what is going on here? Yeah, the rainbow colors. Like I remember seeing like a mane, and I remember seeing his tail having like the little lion kind of like bush on the end, you know? And it was just like this little fucking rainbow thing dancing around. Yeah. And I was like, man, fucking egg.
So you know what was not sick about all that? When you came into the room at like 8 a.m. and we're like, dude, I need you to take me to work.
Wait, let me cut you off here. So we finished trip, or we're not done tripping. I'm not done at least. But it's night. It's like whatever, probably 6 o'clock in the morning, some shit. I go into my room and I turn on Dexter, like season 1 and 2. And I remember I was still tripping. Like I couldn't sleep. I was trying to fucking sleep. And every time I looked at Dexter, it was the fucking coolest thing ever. Because Dexter was like fighting with some like murderer guy. And they both looked like fucking awesome monsters. Like it looked like Frankenstein versus like the werewolf or some shit. And just like the way that it was all playing out was like, this fucking rules. Like this guy looks like a demon, like zombie. And you know, it was like the darkness of Dexter mixed with the 2CI was a fucking amazing combination.
Recommend. Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. Yeah, if you can find some 2CI, I would like to find.
I mean,
some
if
more,
it's your thing, it was really interesting. I've never had that same visual thing happen on any other hallucinogen.
Yeah, that was like a fucking. If you like visuals, that's a highly recommend 2CI. Definitely. So, yeah. Raanen Bozzio, knowing the fucking Raanen Bozzio that he is gonna fucking go to Warped Tour, get fucking drunk, and do fucking psychedelics the day before his first day of this new job that he's starting.
I didn't know that was the first day.
Either. And it was
just not my fucking headphone.
It was so far away from our house.
It was the first.
That.
It was in like
day.
Santa. What's that place? What's that called?
Marina Del Rey. We're getting there. We're getting
there.
I got it all laid out.
Yeah, so, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
I had just been fired from kind of laid off from my alcohol job, working at Buzz Wine and Beer Shop, where I learned so much about wine and beer and my love for the two. But you know, it is what it is. Job didn't work out, and so I'm like, okay, cool. I got to figure out the next thing. A friend of mine had a job at this framing company that did framing, like art framing for everybody from like Stan Lee to Banksy to whatever, you know. And I remember it was a delivery job. So I would basically pick up all the frames and shit like that, all bubble wrapped and stuff, load them into a van and drive them out to the city, wherever. And sometimes I'd pick up supplies too that they need, like molding, etc. And so yeah, it was a pretty fun job while it lasted, but that was my first day, and I woke like I was just trying to get any sleep that I fucking could. That's the fucking beauty of this whole thing, is like I planned it out in my head towards like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at like 8 or 9 or 7 or 6 or whatever. I got to wake up to take the bus from Van Nuys to Marina Del Rey.
That would probably take like 3 hours.
Hour and a half, at least an hour and a half. Yeah, like you could take like 1 or 2 buses that'll kind of like go onto the highway and shit, but for the most part, like brutal commute, you know, hour and a half to 2 hours for sure. And especially on a Monday morning or whatever the fuck it was, you know, and I keep setting snooze, you know, on my alarm, just trying to get some fucking rest. And then it's like, oh, it's too late. It's too late. Like I have to fucking get a ride. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? Keen's still fucking gone on fucking tour or whatever. And I'm like, shit, dude, I have to fucking ask Navene. Like, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. I know he's gonna be so pissed. I don't know what the fuck else I'm gonna do. Like, I need a fucking ride and like whatever. So I knock on the door. You guys are like, what the fuck could Raanen want at this fucking hour? Like, what's going on? Like, is he okay? Is he dead? Whatever. And I'm like, hey, bro, hate to do this, but could you please give me a ride to Marina Del Rey, which in the van is an hour commute from fucking Van Nuys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you were just like, give me like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, the fucking homie came through, fucking saved my ass, next level, got me there.
Dude, I always come through.
That is
I'm
legit.
always going to come through. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do?
We stopped by.
Fuck you, kid.
We stopped by at the Ralph's and I picked up some corn dogs for us because I was like, I got to do something to make. And that was like the summer of corn dogs too. I remember we were eating a shitload of corn dogs.
Really? I don't remember
Really?
eating corn
I don't
dogs.
remember that either.
Oh, dude, I remember maybe I was just eating all of Keen's vegan or vegetarian.
That
corn
could be.
dogs.
That
Like
was the
veggie.
first year that I went vegetarian right before that.
Okay,
Like that December. But
I
I don't
remember
think
that being a
Navene was-
reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
maybe
yeah,
it was
so we
those.
went, fucking Navene came through, got me,
No problem.
and it was all good, bro. And yeah, that's the kind of guy that Navene is. Both of you guys, you know, you're very like caring, giving to your friends, and like honestly, you know, like it's a mutual feeling. Like we'd all take bullets for each other.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
no
mean?
big
Like
deal.
it's fucking homie shit. And so this ties. We could branch this story to two ways, but we're gonna get to both stories from there.
All right.
But
Choose
two
your own
that I
adventure,
knew
Raanen.
that I need to talk about. One of them was salvia.
Oh,
The time we
we
did
did
fucking
not
salvia.
talk about that last time?
We touched on it, but we did not get into the
Oh, yeah.
experience, which was fucking incredible.
I don't
And
know.
then
it was
Janie liked it.
nightmarish for me.
I don't think
favors.
she
So
liked
let's start with favors and how Navene and I actually, well, when Navene and I first met and what really like solidified our friendship like next level was like I was about to go on tour with Cypress Hill with this rapper and I needed the track split, like click split to one ear and track split to another for the shit. And like I didn't know how to do any of that shit. And Navene was like, oh, like send me the tracks, I'll do it in like 5 minutes. Like it's no problem. Like boom, 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 fucking does it, send it back. Dude, you're a fucking lifesaver. Thank you so much. You know, fucking great.
Yeah.
We go on that tour, comes back, etc. And then we're going into the summer that year, and Animals as Leaders is about to go on Summer Slaughter.
Yeah.
And after the first show that they play in Hollywood, van and trailer get fucking stolen.
Okay, that's
All the
not exactly
gear.
that's not exactly accurate. It was
Or the trailer got stolen.
the
right?
trailer got stolen. We had it parked in a parking lot from the tour previous to that one, and then we were gonna go do Summer Slaughter, and we were like, all right, let's go get the trailer. It had been I don't know a couple months.
Was there anything in it?
Well, yeah, my whole drum set.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Why
day
didn't I know
before
that?
they're
I don't
supposed
know
to
about
leave.
this.
my whole drum
Yeah,
set.
this was
All right, sick.
pre-Cheney.
I don't have a drum set.
Animals has,
Yeah.
I mean, not to get into it yet, but with things being stolen from them,
Some bad luck.
some fucking
bad
bad
luck
luck.
there. Some bad
Well,
luck
that's
there.
what happens when you have all that fucking badass, rare, fancy gear. and
Yeah,
shit,
well,
you know?
that's why Navene has the laptop that he has.
That's true.
Because Javier lost his laptop on tour.
And that guy hella fucking big daddy all of you and bought laptops
right.
for
Dude,
everybody and
he
shit.
came-
This thing is 10
I
years
was-
old, bro. The thing is running strong.
I was selling merch for Animals. I remember the show. It was at what's the name of that place Back Booth in Tampa. I was selling merch. This guy, we'll call him Mike, came up to the table and he was like, "Hey, where's
We'll call
Javier?
him.
Where's Javier? I want to replace his laptop." And I was like, "There's no way that this guy can be serious at all." And he was like, "No, take me back to the band. I want to buy Javier a new laptop." So I took him back there. And by the time I heard about it later that night after I was done doing merch, he was buying all three of them laptops.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
fully souped up laptops.
No, he's like, get whatever you want. Like, I got, at the time, the best Apple laptop.
Yeah, that guy
the best
just
one.
fucking hella moneyed you. Daddy Warbucks
It was
you
pretty
big
sick,
time. That was
dude.
fucking sick.
But we didn't really believe it until the next day
And I was like,
because
what?
he had to call an Apple store and like put his credit card on file. And we went to the store to pick up the MacBooks, and it was pretty unbelievable until all three of them walked out with brand new MacBook Pros, like the ridiculous. Sickest shit ever.
I'm still using mine.
Yeah, still to this day.
This thing has been on every tour that I've done since I got it, and I use it on stage.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
It's
I
played
love that.
as many shows as I have.
What's incredible is that is exactly why he bought those for you guys, and you've put it to use in the way that he wishes.
I actually just replaced the battery because the battery went
beautiful.
Tanked.
That's good shit. That's what I like
hold
to
on to
dude.
that thing.
But yeah, I remember that. So anyway, back to the story. The trailer gets stolen, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, we don't have a drum set. This is like bad news right now. And you were like the only guy I could think of.
That's insane.
Raanen. And I was like, called you, and I was like, dude, my drum set just got stolen. Do you think like DW might hook your boy up? And they gave me a PDP.
I was working.
Really?
I was working when you called me. I was working at a fast food burger joint. Like fucking I was like, Navene's calling me, like, what's going on? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take this. And I remember telling my manager, like, yo, give me like 10, 15 minutes. Like, I need to like go handle some shit. Right? Like fucking raining into action, baby. Rain into the rescue. And so you told me this shit, and it was like, this was at Animals was going to be the biggest fucking band in the world. Like it was gonna pop off and explode in my mind, you know, and it eventually did, you know. Totally. And I was like, without Navene, of course.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I laughed so hard that I knocked my earphone out again, bro. This shit's happening.
That's my MO, dude. That's the classic Navene.
But you know, that's what makes fucking Navene. That's the beauty of it, you know, is that was all part of your journey, but the final destination is where you are right now. You know what I mean? You know like this shit. Right now. 100%. Yeah, you're all about that fucking that where I belong shit, you know? So definitely. Yeah, I called the fucking my guy from DW, and I'm like, hey, you know, Animals as leaders. Have you heard of this band? No, I haven't heard of them. I'm like, fucking shit, god damn it. All right, this band's fucking amazing. Trust me, they're gonna pop off. Like their guitar player's like the next fucking Steve Vai. Like it's this fucking, trust me, like whatever you can do for these guys. Like they're in California. Like they had their shit stolen and they need a kit so badly. Like, I don't know what you can do for them. Yeah. Whatever you can give them at cost, like whatever, just like, please hook them up. And he's like, all right. You know, he checks the band out and he's like, all right, these guys are fucking legit, you know, and invites Navene to the fucking factory where he pays the price of a hi-hat stand for a whole kit with stands.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
PDP stand. So I fucking came through with a big time hookup.
Yeah,
no, that's coming through.
Fully legit.
Saved the tour.
Yeah.
100% saved the tour.
I mean, Navene should have driven you to work like every day.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't so worried about it. I was like, all right, you know, I know I got a couple in the fucking chamber for Navene, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all good, you know.
I mean, it worked out great. Worked out great for me. You know?
It worked out for everybody.
Whatever happened to that PDP kit, though?
Well, see, in my head, I'm thinking like, cool. I just like got Navene fucking tied up with DW. Like, I know he'd already been playing some DW stuff, and like, you know, I really made like, I'm gonna make the connection now. Navene's gonna be a DW guy. Cut to like the tour ends. Navene sells the kit for like more than he paid it for, and signs with Tama.
That's such a Navene move.
Classic Navene.
Classic Navene.
But honestly, right? Honestly, though, DW, they're kind of stingy. So like Tama for your career, especially, like that was the right choice at the right time. Like, and same with like, you could have gotten Pisces, you could have gotten all this shit. Like Tama and Meinl, like were perfect for Navene, and like they've grown with you and vice versa. And like, they've done more for you than any of those other companies would, you know what I mean? Even like, not to detract from them, but just what their artist base is and what they're, you know, what they're kind of into promoting and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like,
100%. And even when I quit Animals, they were like, well, let us know if you need anything. Like they weren't.
Exactly.
They weren't like, all right,
they've
see you later,
always
guy.
been so nice too. Yeah.
Been really,
Both
really
of those
supportive.
Companies.
Even though they shouldn't have been like that. That's kind of
I remember that
bad
shit,
move.
dude.
Well,
But-
when you did Navene K, I guess Tama got you hooked up with 2Box, but you were like the guy playing at NAMM. And then when we started our band, Tama had you play, or 2Box had you and Frank play.
Totally.
It's like they've been great too.
They've been really cool for sure. Very
I love that.
very
shit.
lucky there.
Yeah.
I actually just did some top secret stuff for, I won't name which one of those companies, but
Top secret.
top
I
secret
love it,
shit
dude.
is happening in the studio right now.
Well, and they get behind you and they share your stuff all the time. You know what I mean? I'm seeing Mile shit, which, you know, not to fucking blow any more smoke up your ass than has already been, but yeah, all the videos lately, both you guys are fucking killing it. Absolutely. I'm loving all the content that you're putting out, and it's really been inspiring me. You know, like that time we were talking, I was barely putting out any fucking drum videos, any shit. Like over the past month, like my fucking feed is just like boom, drum. I'm fucking. I'm back in fucking action, you know, back where I belong.
That's awesome, man. I mean, if that is what you want to be doing, then it makes sense to pursue the internet side of things. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've just been, you know, like not having the inspiration,
of
COVID
course,
and all that shit. It was just like, all right, like whatever, just fucking, I'm gonna work out instead, and I did that, and it was fucking great. And now I'm doing both, working out, playing. Yep. Found the right balance. Gonna start pro wrestling training here soon in a couple months, and I think so. Yeah, like I have to.
Yeah,
I have to do it before I die. Like I'm 31.
Yeah.
I'm 31. Like the window's closing down. If I don't get trained like sooner than later, like I'm just never gonna be able to do that. And I don't know if I want to make it a career or whatever, but I want to be able to at least say like, yo, I got trained. I did the fucking shit. Like I went through that fucking that whole fucking situation, whatever the fucking.
You're gonna have to start juicing up, dude.
Maybe, dude.
Maybe
I'm fucking
bulking.
working on it, dude.
Yeah.
I've been bulking a lot lately. I've been hitting
bulking like fat.
That's why. That's why I stopped taking that's why I've been drinking more over the past like month or so, eating a little more fucked up.
I'm bulking up, dude. Whatever.
Yeah. Exactly,
I know that's the age old excuse.
Yeah, creatine and beer. You know what I mean?
I need to gain a little weight. I mean,
dude, I remember when I first started working out, I was so skinny that I could literally just eat as much as I wanted. Like that was the move.
Yeah.
And like
I'm still like crazy underweight. You know,
that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like when I was 23 or 24. You know.
Yeah.
So I would just eat like a whole pizza, and drink beer. And
did you guys see what I ate yesterday?
No.
Holy shit. I'll send you the link. You missed out on the Instagram story, I guess. It was
I might
this
have
crazy
seen it
ass
and forgotten.
It was this crazy ass burger. It's like a piece of Texas toast, double cheeseburger, another piece of Texas toast, and then barbecue brisket, and then a whole beef rib, like slab of beef rib on top.
Jesus.
Fucking insane, bro. That was the only thing I needed to eat yesterday, but I was like, yo, this is it. It just got me fucking going. And like, yeah, I did 3 hours of lifting that day, and then I played for 4 hours, like just fucking slammed with this cover band. Yeah. So I was like, cool. Those were like, that was like just the perfect amount of calories.
That really is. I mean, if it's not much meat.
Like 5,000 calories.
Yeah. Fuck.
No, if the food's not veg, I just swipe by it really quick. So that's probably what happened.
That would have been, a heartbreaking moment for sure.
I definitely can't like it. I definitely can't like it.
No, there's no liking.
I was wondering, is that vegan to like a non-vegan food post?
I think it's
you
fine.
can.
I don't think you can like it. No, I don't think so.
You can't
Yes, you
because
can.
you're liking the reason that you like a post is to be happy for someone else's achievement. It's not because you want what they're
Because there have been
doing.
a couple of times where I'm like, I just like someone's post, but it's got like me in it. I'm like, I gotta go back and
No, you
unlike
just
it.
go.
No,
You're liking. You're enjoying their achievement. You're enjoying that they're happy about their consumption.
You're taking this shit too seriously, bro. Because I have a lot of vegan friends that like my meat posts, and they're like, they support it. It's like just because they don't eat meat doesn't mean that they like don't support good food. Like it is what it is. Like even though you might have your, it's not like just because you have a fucking ponytail, I think you're the devil. You know what I mean? It's like whatever, dude. We each do our thing, live and let live.
Exactly.
No, of course.
But yeah,
I'm being halfway serious. But I actually don't.
I'm glad because vegans sadly do get a bad rap, for being kind of like pushy about their lifestyle, etc. You know what I mean? Like there is a lot of that, but more and more in my life, I'm encountering very like understanding vegans, and like that's the best kind of vegan that there are. It's just like, cool, I love and I support your veganism, and like I'll go eat at vegan places with you and eat vegan food. Like I don't, like I'm with the whole fucking thing. But I'm also gonna eat a fucking three beef fucking grilled cheese.
Actually,
whatever
I think
the fuck
first time we hung
monstrosity.
out, you took me to a vegan spot.
Yeah, dude, veggie heaven, bro.
Yeah.
That place was bomb as fuck. Had fucking that, or is it the protein nuggets? It was like wheat gluten.
Super good.
So fucking good, dude.
I don't know if it's
in Austin.
Yeah, we did when after that was that summer slaughter. And I remember you came through. That was the first time we hung out. Yeah, I picked you up in the Impala that I was driving at that time. And we went to Veggie Heaven and you bought my food because you were like, because I just saved the tour. So you bought my food and then we went to go get ices and you got me an icy too. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. This is the homie right here.
I was like, I got this, dude. Mine's no good around here.
I got this
$3 icy.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, at that point, I was still, no offense, but I was still like, wow, he's Terry Bozzio's kid,
A little starstruck, yeah.
Yeah, but now, like, I don't even make that connection.
I know, I don't never
like
associated it.
You're not really. I don't.
Same. We're fucking family.
Do
like,
people
crazy.
meet you like throughout your life? Have they met you? And it's like, I mean, this is a dumb question because I'm almost sure that this has happened and it's weird. Like you feel uncomfortable that they talk to you about your dad so much.
On occasion, like my big fucking NAM go-to is like I flip my pass every time.
Oh, yeah.
Because like when people look at your name and they're like Bozzio, and then that can bring up unwarranted conversations where it's like some people I want my pass showing. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Raanen Bozzio. How's it going? Nice to meet you. You know what I mean? Six or whoever the fuck, but like, fucking Phil from accounting, down the block who wants to fucking tell me about how great this was, or like, like I'm very understanding of the situation because it's been going through it my whole life.
Right.
But yeah, like some people can be like somewhat insensitive or like not know the right things to say when they're like talking to you about this stuff. We're just like, wow, man, must be a lot of pressure being fucking Terry Bozzio's son. I mean, and a drummer. Wow, man. All this shit. I'm just like,
cool, dude.
Well, like I remember one guy being like, wow, you're 19 and you're Terry Bozzio's son and you're not like a successful touring musician. Like, man, if I had your last name, like I would have fucking totally made it by now.
What the fuck?
Cool, bro. Thanks. We're both working at Journeys right now. So like, fuck you.
Whoa.
You should have socked him
I know.
for that, dude.
I mean, he didn't say it in such a rude way, but he definitely said it.
I mean, he said the words,
Yeah.
sang the words.
No, I remember I was like, I'm gonna make a point to like not talk to Raanen about that. I never have. I don't think I ever have.
We talk about it because
after a couple years and we lived together, I was like, yeah, whatever. But when we first started hanging out, I'm not like, dude, your dad played with Frank Zappa. That's insane, like.
But that's the thing, like with a person like you, like it's my pleasure to talk about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's cool, like whatever. Like I'm talking about my life, I'm talking about things. But like, you meet those people that just want to hear about it just because they're fucking like super fans or whatever. Or like, I remember a couple times like in high school and stuff like that, meeting like kids that were drummers or musicians, etc. And like they wanted to be friends with me like so bad. And it was like, yeah, cool. Like we started being friends, and then like they would start like asking for stuff like, oh, like look at all, can I like take some of these heads, or like can I take some of these symbols, or blah blah blah. Like you have all this shit, and it's like, bro, like what the fuck? Like none of my real friends ever like asked me for this stuff. Like my family super generous, everybody, you know what I mean? Like we have no problem giving gifts, especially like stuff like drum stuff, music stuff, love that. But like when you're like asking for it, like I was like, oh, none of my real friends like ask for that stuff. You know what I mean? Or like if they do, it's like I know this is coming and like it's totally cool. Like, yeah, whatever I can do for you. You're my fucking own. Like Navene, like, dude, what can I do to save Summer Slaughter? I will fucking do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, then you get those fucking people it's a little weird. And that's the thing. It is a double-edged sword. Like there's so many great benefits and so many incredible things that have happened from it. But yeah, then there's also the negative side. There's the constant comparisons. There's the, you know what I mean? Like this I wanted to make an angry fucking Instagram video post the other day, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, but I'll just make it on this fucking podcast right now.
Go for it.
It's like, yeah, there is a fucking chip on my shoulder. It's the size of the world's largest fucking drum kit. Like, do you want to try to knock it off?
Yeah.
Like, please, like, by all means, let's fucking do this right now. Like, that's the kind of, you grow up in this household and this kind of lifestyle where music and fame and all these kind of things are just a part of everyday life, and you're growing up and you're hanging out with fucking Steve Lukather from Toto is at your first birthday party. You know what I mean? Like weird shit like this, where it's like, yeah, your dad hangs out with fucking rock stars and musicians. And we lived down the street from Brad Dourif, the original voice of Chucky. You know what I mean? Like great fucking voice actor, like weird stuff like that, where it's like, this was like my whole life, like since birth. It was just weird, like very charmed, very surrounded by all these cool and kind of out of the ordinary things. And I've really, tried to make the best of it that I can and just really appreciate like the opportunities that I do have. Cause like there's things that I 100%, like I will admit this, and I had to earn it. I did have to earn it, but like Sabian, DW, like none of those companies are supporting me or giving me shit unless I'm Terry Bozzio's son, right? Yeah. That got me in the door. Once I got in the door, I had to fucking earn it by proving to them, hey, I can play, I'm doing shit, right. I'm doing the whole fucking thing. But it was one of those situations, like, I remember, this is so fucking funny, like looking back on the whole thing now. The first time I met Jay Weinberg, we were at Conan, and Jay Weinberg of Slipknot, everybody. Yeah. We were at Conan and Mastodon. So my dad was playing with Zappa Plays Zappa in New York. And Mastodon was there doing Conan one of the nights. So we went and hung out with the Mastodon guys, friends of ours for a while now, and it was amazing because the guests were Mastodon and fucking Borat. Okay. Oh, wow. So I got to fucking hang out with those fucking guys, and like the whole thing was fucking incredible. But yeah, I met Jay Weinberg for the first time. Such a cool guy, we instantly hit it off, became little buddies, and Jay is one of those guys that, a lot of rock stars' sons or famous musicians' sons have all sorts of issues, deep-seated shit. And I got my shit, but for the most part, like I turned out pretty good in comparison to the rest of the fucking bunch, Yeah. And, Jay is the same way, Jay's fucking super cool, sweetheart of a fucking guy. And we were talking about DW. We both had DW because both of our dads played DW and this whole thing. And I remember he was telling me like, yeah, we got a great deal on my kit that was like a 4 or 5 piece or 6 or 7 piece kit. You know what I mean? Big enough, but as well as, and they got a great deal. Like, yeah, like how much you get yours for? And I was like, oh, they made me mine for free. You know what I mean? Like I didn't pay for mine. Like we're the same age, all that shit. And like, I got like a Terry Bozzio kit. Like I had 3 bass drums, like three rack toms, 2 mounted floors and 2 regular floors, like a rack, like the whole fucking shebang. Like I went full Danny Carey because I was like, fuck it, YOLO. You know what I mean? Like you got to fucking go all out. And I only use like half or a quarter of my kit that I still have like all these drums like piled up in the back. Cause
well, that's kind of cool because you can assemble like different style kits.
Yeah.
Yeah, really exactly. Cool. 100%. And I'll do that. It's like, cool. I'll leave my regular kit set up and then I'll bring like a cocktail kit with the 10-inch and a fucking, you know what I mean? Like some weird shit or whatever. But yeah, like I remember that being weird. Like, wait, you're like Max Weinberg's son. Like you didn't get your shit for free. But it's like, I guess my dad has probably sold more DW kits than Max Weinberg. They hooked it up. But it's funny thinking like he was trying to get like with DW and they were kind of like brushing him off. And so he went with SJC. And then he like joined Slipknot and is like in the biggest fucking metal band or perhaps the biggest fucking band in the fucking world. And like DW kind of like blew it on Jay Weinberg. But they still got Raanen Bozzio who played at Rembrandt's Bar and Kitchen last night in fucking Yorba Linda, California.
It's like I got a lot of compliments on my drum set last night.
From the drunk guys.
Yeah.
I did at least get 2 compliments on my kit. So
yeah, there you go.
I'll fucking take that for
so someone's mom and
an old man, dude. I almost got in a fight last night. It was
Let's hear about
fucking
that.
weird.
Yeah, I mean,
happened
was
last
this
night?
with the cover band last night?
Yeah, so this is with the cover band, and the cover
Okay.
band's fucking wild, dude. Because the guitar player,
Right.
singer, is this friend of mine, Courtney, and he's just a fucking wild man, dude. I call him Coco for short because I know he does a shitload of cocaine, and
Damn.
Joey Coco Diaz. You know what I mean? Hey, he'll be the first to fucking admit
Wait,
it. He'll
so
he'll shout it from the world.
Are your sets like 4 hours long?
Yeah, it was basically 3.5 hours. Like we
Okay.
had a half-hour break, but
Mhm.
we did hour 30, or hour 45, hour
All right.
45.
Well, now I know
Okay.
why you've been drinking.
Okay.
Because there's no way I'm doing a fucking 3 hour set
I know. I'm
without a couple
getting
beers.
wasted. under that.
that's I cranked down a couple Guinness last night for sure.
Oh,
But
geez.
that's that other thing where it's like you got to find the sweet balance, especially with drumming. You got to be
Oh,
on
right.
time.
See,
all
being
this
a
shit.
vocalist, you can really kind of push the limit.
You can
Because
fucking come
I'm
out on a
going to
wheelchair as a vocalist. and
I'm
fucking-
going to go, like, the chances of me stage diving and doing the crazy stuff that I do increase a lot if I'm a couple of shots in. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah.
I'll do it
lubed
without.
up.
I'll do it without. But if I'm lubed up, the show gets more explosive.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I like 1 to 4 drinks while I'm playing. But like that's like the
Yeah.
cutoff. Like I can't go past 4 because then it's like
Yeah.
the timing starts to
Oh,
get
right.
shaky.
I don't
like,
think
shit
I
gets a little
can
weird.
drink more than 4 drinks in a night.
Yeah. See, I'm like 4 is like where I get going. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
like
All
I
right.
start from
All
there.
right.
You know what I mean? But I'm also fucking whatever, however many pounds and feet taller than you.
Right.
So it is what
True.
it is. And in the Bozzio jeans, you got to think about those too. But fuck, what were we just talking about?
The cover
drinking.
set
The
last
show.
night,
The show.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, my friend, he's a fucking wild man, and he goes and jumps on the tables while people are playing. He's got like a wireless, and he's like shredding fucking Dave Grohl shit and doing solos.
Oh,
and
man.
stepping on fucking people's tables. Yeah. And so like part of it is really cool, and then
I wanna
part
be
of
in
it's
a cover
fucking
band.
annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
You're just like, all right, dude, you're doing like a fucking 4-minute solo right now. Like I start to lay out, and it'll get to the point where it's like I was playing a groove, and I might have even been like kind of soloing or doing fills along with him, and like kind of call and answer and shit. And then I'm just like, all right, now I'm just doing time on the hi-hat, like just waiting for him to fucking finish this fucking solo. You know what I mean? But we finished playing, and there's like some definite babes in the audience. And so I'm like, all right, this is cool. Like, I'm definitely not opposed to this, single man. And I like, there's these 3, like a group of like 3 hot chicks that keep looking at me. And like, as I'm like tearing my shit down, I like keep looking back.
Are
and
you
I'm
the
like,
only young member of your band? What are the ages?
No, they're this band is we're all around the same age.
Okay.
And everybody else in the band is fairly good looking. The bass player's married with a kid, so he's kind of
Okay.
like over it.
Out.
The other guitar player who's jacked, he's got a girlfriend, so he's out. He looks kind of like Thor. And then it's like me and Courtney are the fucking,
Single dude.
we're the single guys. And Courtney's like a fucking Muppet. He's like 5'7", 5'9", fucking 145, long blonde hair. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's a total fucking character. But he's got swag, whatever. And so yeah, it's definitely
He's got
between
that
the two of
cocaine
us.
swag.
He's definitely got, there's something about him. He's kept me around for as fucking wild as he is, you know what I mean? And I should have fucking dipped out many times ago. It's like, all right, there's some charm, there's some charisma, the opposite of Adam Bazzini. And so,
Holy shit.
and so we finished the show, and keep looking back at these girls, and like they're like, I'm starting to notice it. Like for me, it's one of those things where I don't want to like go up to somebody and be like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? Oh, you're really pretty. Like, blah, blah. Do you have a boyfriend? Like this whole kind of fucking thing. It's just like, I don't care. Like it has to be like a moment where we are completely syncing, or like you have to come up to me. Cause like or we get introduced, but other than that, like I'm either like too shy, or I just don't have the fucking energy to get
Raanen
rejected.
don't play that.
Mm.
Dude,
What's
Raanen-
that?
I said
Yeah, I don't-
Raanen don't play that.
I don't have the energy for rejection. But anyway, fucking like now I start to make eyes with like the hottest of these 3 girls, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then she gives me the fucking finger, and I'm like, oh, okay. I just like put all my drum, like everything I start setting up, and I go over and I'm like, hey, what's going on? She's like, hi. She introduces herself and her 2 friends, blah, blah, blah. And then like as soon as she introduces me to the two friends, she leaves. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I got like foisted onto the two friends, which is totally fine. I'll take it. You know what I mean? They're still beautiful women. Like I'm no complaints, whatever. But it wasn't like the shining star that I was going after, whatever. And so I started hanging out with this one girl, and she's like, yeah, like I'm a nerd, and like I'm a super like I'm a mathlete basically, and I do like some sort of weird statistics shit for like work, you know what I mean? Like super math science girl. And then she like brings up jujitsu, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like I'm super into jujitsu, and I'm like 10th planet for life. And she's like, oh, I do 10th planet. Like, okay, cool. We're starting to fucking hit it off. And we're talking, we're sitting, ordering bar drinks at the bar. And then like these two dudes across the way from the bar, and this is Orange County, guys. So we're not dealing with the West Hollywood crew here, but
they're very bro.
There's these two dudes
Flat
arm
bros.
in arm, you know what I mean? Kind of like getting really close. And this girl like just starts talking shit right away. She's like, are these guys going to kiss? She's like, hey, you guys should kiss. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on here, you know? And the two guys, like they're kind of laughing and like joking at the whole thing. They're like, okay. And they actually like they're bros. And so they're like, I'll kiss this man. So like they kissed each other, you know, it wasn't like they made out or whatever, but it was like, oh, that's kind of like funny, whatever, cool. And then the one dude walks away, and then another dude walks up to him, and this girl is like talking more shit. And she's like, hey, why don't you kiss again? You like, what's up with all you guys? Like, you're getting like all into each other. I'm like, what? Like, why are you like so aggro? Like, what's going on? Like, can't these bros just hang out? Like, sometimes bros just need to feel each other. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to, you need to bond. You need that physical touch. You need to hug, or, you know, you get arm in arm and you just do your thing. It is what it is. Some people maybe are homophobes or maybe are uncomfortable by that.
I'm pretty touchy feeling when I'm drunk. I'm not going to lie.
Dude, well, I know firsthand. But, so yeah, so this other dude who's with the dude who's sitting down, he's like, you want to go? I'll fight you right now. And
to the girl?
I'm like, to us, because I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him just smiling, like laughing at this whole thing, because this girl's just like going off. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm just sitting here. I just finished playing, drinking. And this guy's like, just do something right now. I'll fucking fight you. And I'm thinking like, oh yeah, he's joking. Like I kind of smile it off. And he's like, don't look at me again. Don't look at me again. And I look right back at him. I'm like, what? Like, are we going to fight right now? Like, is this going to happen? And his friend has to hold him back. And apparently he got really fucking aggro and pissed just because this girl was talking shit. And like shit almost went down. Security had to like step in and fucking escort the guy. You know what I mean? But I was like, damn, is this
and it was all this girl's fault.
All this girl's fault. She was just talking shit, which it cracked me up. You know what I mean? It was definitely entertaining. Like I was into it, but it was also at the same time like, yo, like live and let live. Like I know you're like 5 feet tall and a girl, and like people won't fuck with you, but like I'm a 6 foot, like okay looking man, and like some people are like intimidated or pissed off by that or whatever. Like sometimes I get it. Like I just have that look where you want to kick my ass. Like go for it. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But like that's not my fault, and I'm not like doing anything to like, you know, aggravate this guy whatsoever. I'm just laughing at this fucking girl who's fucking talking shit. And yeah, shit almost went down, but it was narrowly avoided. First of all,
this is another great reason to not drink.
We're gonna fight. Yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, not everyone is the type of person that girl is. I wouldn't call other people out when I was wasted. Neither would you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
you know,
it was a wild night.
It's a personality type.
Absolutely.
Of someone who gets wasted.
Once you hit a certain amount of drinks in the night, you're feeling cocky and you're doing this whole thing, then all that shit fucking comes into play. But it is what it is. I made it out narrowly
good
with my life. You know what I mean? Could have been.
And you got yourself a new girlfriend too, on top of that.
100%, bro. No, that was actually, part of the problem is like, after that girl was like, I never do this to anybody, like, but I really like you. And she just kept telling me that like throughout the whole night, she's like, I don't like anybody. That's the problem. Like, you seem like cool and smart and all this stuff. Blah, blah. I was like, first of all, I'm not smart. You got the wrong guy. And like, cool. Like, I don't know. That's questionable. You know what I mean? I might be okay looking, but like realistically, like we just met. Like, how can you like me? Like, you saw me playing drums there. Like, yeah, maybe I killed it on the drums, but like, we could have absolutely nothing in common other than jujitsu and drinking alcohol. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. So it was a little strange. And then she ended up leaving her car and my phone. So before this podcast started, I had to,
that's who. Okay.
You told us it was your friend. I'm glad you explained that.
I mean, it was a friend, yeah.
All right.
It was a good night. It was a good night. But I think like we're probably no, we got a good amount of time. Do you usually do 2 hours, hour and a half?
We've been doing shorter podcasts lately, actually.
Also, my back's kind of flaring up, so I kind of
we gotta cut it short because Navene's back's flaring up.
This is perfect. I think we close
wiggling around.
I think we close out with the salvia story.
All right, let's
I
do
agree
it.
with that.
That's a good story to close out on.
Here's the salvia story. Navene didn't do salvia. Boom.
Navene was the only person.
Really? I didn't remember that. I had no idea that you didn't do salvia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, Navene, because that was during Navene's era of like no drugs at all, really.
Oh, really?
Like you did a little bit of mushrooms once. You did a little bit of Molly. And I remember you smoking weed like once.
Listen to this memory that this kid has.
Weed, though.
The memory on you is insane.
I remember all stupid shit like this. It's fucking completely meaningless. You know what I mean? Well, but all that shit just sticks with me because that was such a vivid time in my life. All that shit. I can really.
But yeah, you guys were and I don't know if we should call him out by name, but a friend of ours was doing.
No, we're gonna call him out by name, Doug Champion.
Yeah,
what? I just talked to him a couple of weeks ago for the first time in years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I saw him like a couple years ago when I was bouncing at Velvet Margarita. He was like part of a production crew for that movie Tag that came out with like Jeremy Renner. It was like about a bunch of adults that continue a tag game that like started when they were like little kids or some shit.
Wow. And they're really just
I don't know why I remember this shit.
They're really just digging for stories in Hollywood nowadays.
What's that?
They're really just digging for stories in Hollywood nowadays.
I got them all, So Doug
I mean that in Hollywood,
they're
reaching. The movies they're coming up with.
That was one of those ones where it was like tag the fucking movie, like for real. Are we gonna have a movie called Hide and Go Seek? Like, are we gonna have a fucking movie called fucking Ring Around the Rosie? God damn it! Like,
about a game, a continuation of a Ring Around the Rosie game from when you were there.
Fucking children's game. London Bridge is falling down. Like, what the fuck?
Riveting,
dude. Now I'm just looking at you, like, just thinking of you as being a wrestler.
I am too.
I want to hear that shit talking. Though.
Well, I also think that's such a good idea.
Vascularity,
it's such a good idea because you know more about wrestling than any person I've ever encountered. Even ones who are obsessed with wrestling. Like, everything.
It's that weird steel trap shit. And then, like, I just love talking shit. I love talking shit more than anything. Like, I love being a positive person and I love encouraging my friends and I love bringing everybody up. But I fucking love talking shit so much. It gets me, like, whatever, hating, bro. Hating is so fun. It can be so fucking fun. I try to not be a hater, but it is what it is.
Dude, you gotta be like Macho Man and have like little props when you're talking shit. Dude.
Oh,
like
man.
Bro, well, I already got,
what's your gimmick?
We're gonna.
Why can't we talk about it? I want to know.
Do you want to talk? Okay, we'll get into the wrestling and then we'll finish with the salvia story.
Perfect.
All right, so me and my friend Crow, who's a fucking amazing friend, he's a wrestler as well, and he is also an adult film star and a magician. So he basically decided to do what everybody wanted to do when they were 12 years old. He did all of them. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be a porn star, be a magician, and a pro wrestler. Like, fuck the bullshit.
Got it.
So yeah, fucking great and sweetest guy ever. We have a gimmick, or I've been coming up with this gimmick because we're both into kind of like BDSM and like, all that kind of weird kinky sex stuff. And so I was like, the perfect gimmick for us is Pain and Pleasure. Like, that's our fucking tag team name. We're Pain and Pleasure. And like, we fucking come out
pain?
And I had like in my,
who's pleasure and who's pain?
Who's pain?
Right. So in my mind, I'm like, obviously I'm pleasure. Like, if you see Crow, especially, Crow is like my height, probably 20, 30 pounds on me, and like tattooed, shaved head. Like, he looks like Pain. If you're going to be fucking Pain, like, this is the fucking guy. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm kind of like the pretty boy, whatever. I could totally be pleasure. Like, this is fucking amazing. And the kind of shit talking I do, I'm like, yeah, I could be like the cocky, whatever. And so we start talking about this whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to be great. I'll be Raanen Pain. You'll be like, or I'll be Raanen Pleasure and you'll be Crow Pain or whatever the fuck. And he's like, well, I want to be pleasure. And I'm like,
he had this whole thing like,
all right. Yeah. I had it all mapped out in my head, but I was like, you know what? Like the person that Crow is too, he is like infinitely as nice as I am, infinitely nicer than me. Like it is so hard to get him to say a bad word about anybody. Like no matter what, like he's always just like, oh, well, they're just, you know, this and that. It's always like, he's so fucking sweet and so understanding and like cool and accepting of people. It's like, okay, you know what? Like it actually makes sense. I could totally see you as pleasure and I could fucking be pain. I'll just fucking go into that psycho mentality. And like, I could totally bring out, yeah, that like evil character.
Yeah.
And then we kind of talk about it a little more and it's like, you know what? What if we're both pain and pleasure? And that's the fucking idea is you never know what you're getting from either of us. You're going to get pain or pleasure.
Whoa, dude, that was the twist.
We are both.
Like
the question, which one of you is pain and pleasure? The answer, yes.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
It's also like some Zen stuff in there too.
Yeah, some meme stuff right there. So yeah, one day Pain and Pleasure will be a tag team and we'll make that shit happen. I don't know about the outfits yet. I don't know about all the other stuff, but I know that that's like our fucking gimmick. We're just like, we're both about the same height. I'm working on getting a little bit bigger, but like, we're just going to be two big fucking scary dudes who can either give you pain or pleasure depending on what you're looking for.
I'm trying to see that.
Yeah.
When you do wrestle, I want to drive down and see that.
Yeah.
Well,
we're gonna have to juice you up though, dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to juice you up, dude. Get you all huge.
I might need to start hitting the test just a little bit. Just a little bit. But you know, we'll get there. We'll see what happens over this next year. Like I'm taking this whole year to just like bulk, like sweet potatoes and like 1.5 pounds of meat every fucking day and creatine and like you know, doing all the fucking shit I can, to try and just get up. Like if I hit 190, I'll be happy. Like I'm at like 175 right now.
Oh, really?
And like, yeah, it's pretty like, you know, but it's because I was kind of shredding for a little while. I like bulk shredded. So now I'm back to bulking again. And I'm just going to go until I hit like 190. Wow. I don't know. It might take a couple years, but it doesn't matter.
So you are open to steroids?
I'm not open to steroids. I'm open to testosterone.
Okay. What's the
testosterone?
Difference? I don't know.
TRT or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. It's naturally occurring. And like a lot of men, even people who aren't athletes,
take
once they hit their late 30s, they start kind of taking testosterone. You know, you just naturally your body produces less of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I feel completely comfortable taking that. Whereas like steroids, maybe I would take it if some dude from the wrestling industry like fucking held my hand through the whole fucking thing. But then again, like too, I'm afraid of any like negative repercussions that it could have. So it's not even worth it. Whereas like testosterone, like, okay, what's the worst that could fucking happen, you know?
Right. That's going to deplete over time anyway. So you're just helping yourself essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, we'll stay tuned as I do these quarterly updates or tertiary updates, because this is the second of, I'm going to get 4 in before the end of the year. As Conor McGregor said, the year of COVID, I'm going to fight 4 times this year. I proceeded to fight once, but yeah, it's you know, it's just something I got to do. I want to do, and I want to do like tag team wrestling. That way I can be a little lazier and I can like rely on other people. It doesn't have to be like all on me.
Totally. Yeah. And I feel like you can even the personality can come out more, even when you're on the side of the ring, you know, because so it gives you a little more opportunity to do that.
And we'll probably have a manager too, like some sort of, you know, person with us. Not sure if it's going to be a guy or a girl. I was kind of thinking a girl is like a good idea, like a sexy dominatrix outfit who kind of like had us both on like chains and shit, like walking out, you know what I mean? Like had to like unleash us from the chains.
That would be really cool.
You know? Right? Like this is like, it's like definitely a hard PG-13, but like just right under the level. You know what I mean? We want to not hit R. But anyway, the time we did salvia, so fucking holy shit, we got to close out with this because I have to get the story out. This was so fucking wild. our friend Doug Champion brings over salvia for us to do. And this is at our, I mean, I'm fucking 22. Cheney's probably 22, 23. Navene's like 26, 27, something like that, right?
Yep.
And we're all just experimental phase. Let's fucking do it. Whatever the fuck it is. Like, let's try new shit. You know what I mean? I'm smoking like hash. I'm doing all these fucking crazy different things. You know, we had done probably the 2CI before this, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And
I think that's why I didn't do it. I was like, you know what? We just did the 2CI and shit. I'm like,
and the bath salts too. You guys had that bad bath salts, and salvia was like right hand in hand with bath salts.
I don't know if we've told that story on the podcast, but that was
the bath salts.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that. So I want you guys to tell that story next time I'm on. Yeah. So Doug brings over some fucking salvia, and he's like, well, yeah, we can't smoke weed or whatever, so you know, salvia like passes a drug test, and that's the whole fucking thing. All right, well, cool, whatever. So me being the fucking guy I am, I'll go first. I'll try it.
Let's
fucking do
okay.
it.
Yeah.
I was there the whole time, like chilling.
Yeah, we were on Raanen. We were
it was
all
the four
sitting
of us
on Raanen's bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the four of us in my room sitting on my bed so we can monitor each other and our salvia experiences because we knew it's going to be a short thing, but like we wanted to see like what happens with everybody. So I'm like, all right, I want to put one of my favorite Japanese jazz fusion bands, Cassiopeia. I'm going to put their DVD on because it's like super positive, fun, like just funky music. Everybody check out Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia rules.
They're amazing.
Fucking rule. You guys have been getting into them?
A little bit,
I didn't even remember that you had put on the Cassiopeia DVD.
Cassiopeia is my fucking shit.
No recollection.
Actually, like when I went to record the JFAC thing, like Jason was like all into Cassiopeia and showed it to me.
They're fucking incredible, right? Yeah. So Akira Jimbo, dude, one of the best drummers of all fucking time. And Akira is the one who showed me Cassiopeia, this band that he'd been in for years. I had only known him as like the crazy MIDI guy. When I went over to Japan, he gave me their DVD that they had just done. And I put it in. I was like, I didn't know what the fuck to expect. And it's like, dude, this sounds like Sega Dreamcast music. Yeah. Like this is like fucking like Mario Kart, like whatever. Like every video game that you've played was influenced by Cassiopeia. Like they set the standard for like music that would get fucking, you know, copied in video games, etc. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put this on because like, it's only good vibes. Like it's 100% gonna be good vibes. Put it on my PlayStation, and I take this fucking hit, and the whole world starts fucking turning and melting like a Ferris wheel. I felt like I was legit on a Ferris wheel. I fell onto the bed and I'm just laughing like the hardest, craziest, fucking happiest laugh I could have ever fucking imagined. And Navene comes up to me and there was like something from the DVD that had like a little like ticket, like a concert ticket or whatever. And he's like, did you go to this concert? Is this a ticket to the concert? Like while I'm tripping. And for some reason, like I knew it wasn't a ticket to the concert, but Navene asking me that question, I was just like, how could that be a ticket to the fucking concert? Like, I thought it was the funniest thing. Like Navene just asked me the best question in the world, and you guys are all cracking up, like laughing, like Rain was losing it. And like, yeah, I just remember kind of like laying on the side of my bed and like everything was just going by like a fucking wheel, like mega Ferris wheel vibes. And then like and slow-mo too, everything's like, whoa, like this a trick to the concert. I'm like, fuck. And I slowly start coming back. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, that was fun, that was cool. I'm not sure if I would do that again, but like we did it, whatever. All good. Then Cheney's up next. Cheney's like, all right, I'm going to fucking do this, whatever. Cheney takes like a big ass fucking blast. And Cheney's the first one that's like looking, if for those of you listening, she's just kind of like staring. And then she kind of like turns her head a little bit and is like, what's going on here? She's like, am I here?
Yeah.
She's like, am I here? And I was like, yeah, like you were like, yeah, you're here. Like you're with us, Cheney. Like,
but you kept saying you're tripping. And that like haunted the experience for me, and it made it a really bad experience because I took that with me into the trip, and I had the same sensation. I felt like I was like melting into the bed. But for me, what what appeared was like the Queen's chessboard from Alice in Wonderland. Do you know that whole scene? And it was all just reds around me, like hills of reds. And I just could hear, you're tripping. And
you kept asking, like, where am I? So we're like, you're tripping. Like, that's what we were telling you.
Right, I know. And that ended up making it a really weird trip. But I don't really remember much that happened after that. But I do know that I have not done salvia since that moment. And after that, I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Me neither. And I definitely felt the same after that. And I remember, you were just like, wait, am I here? Like it was like this whole thing where like you kept like asking, and we were like, we didn't know when you had like finished tripping.
Yeah.
So we were just like, oh, like what's going on with Cheney? Like you were the first one was like, is this really happening? I'm like, yeah, like we're all like just with you, whatever, having a good time, blah, blah, blah.
That's so funny.
And so, yeah. And then you came back to Earth and that was fucking great.
Yeah.
And then our boy Doug goes for the big bowl. He fucking fills that bong. I think it was your bong or somebody's bong at the fucking time. This big ass fucking bong. Filled it with fucking salvia. And our boy went over to the other side hard. He was fucking staring at the ground. He was like shaking, fucking convulsing. He started.
Oh, man.
This is not funny, but it is funny because we're all okay. He starts drooling and shit, and he's like, "Doug's not here, man. Doug's not here. Doug's like, we're like, what the fuck, dude? Holy shit!" And he's like,
I almost thought he was pretending.
Dude, we were freaking out, and I remember we recorded everybody's thing. And I wish I still had those recordings of everybody tripping and how we were reacting. Yeah, it was fucking insane. Cause like, yeah, we didn't know if Doug was going to come back for a second. We're just like, oh shit. And then like afterwards he was just like shocked. Like, dude, like he had just fucking seen the devil. And I remember him texting me like days later, be like, dude, I'm still thinking about this fucking salvia trip. Like I'm still thinking about what happened and like where I went. Like he went into like the DMT zone. Like he crossed over. It was insane. He was in a whole nother, he like was talking about how he went through a dimension. Like he went through a portal and felt like he came out the other side and like everybody was there, but they like weren't,
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy shit.
I lied earlier because I said that 2CI was the most intense visual experience that I've had, but it was actually salvia. Salvia changed. I haven't done DMT, but it seems to be like a setting resetter in the same way that DMT flips the setting that you're in. You don't feel like you are where you're at. And I very much felt like that on salvia. Like I was not in your room anymore. I was on the Queen's chessboard.
That was so wild. We're see like
world.
Yeah, I didn't do enough. Like I felt like I think maybe it burnt my lungs or something to where like I definitely did considerably less than you guys because like I knew where I was the whole time. Like even though the fucking whole world was like sloshing, like I knew Navene was there. Like I knew you guys were like behind me, like laughing, and like I remember the fucking the Cassiopeia song that it was Fight Man. Is the name of it. So check out Fight Man if you guys want to fucking do some salvia.
How insane that was legal for so many years.
Is it not still legal?
I have no idea.
It might be.
Really?
I mean, I haven't been in any head shops like looking for it.
Me either.
But like, I remember that was the time of like spice, bath salts, and like salvia. And it was starting to come to the forefront of like, these things are worse than the drugs that they're like mimicking, you know
bath
what I mean?
Salts, I don't think that people had heard about like the zombie thing and eating off people's faces 100%. At that point.
You guys did it way before the fucking zombie.
Way before.
Like a year before.
Right, yeah. That's insane to me that those things, you can just flip a molecule in a drug and you can put it out and sell it at stores to kids.
Yeah. And now it's legal. Insane. As long as you're 18, you can fucking buy salvia and go to fucking space. You can smoke spice joints every fucking day and literally lose your fucking mind.
Right.
And then you can do bath salts and eat somebody's face off. Welcome to America.
But weed is really bad for you.
weed,
Marijuana is awful,
mushrooms,
mushrooms.
acid, DMT,
Right.
all these things that have been nothing but amazing and fun and great to me, and way better than all those fucking synthetic ones. Like, I should have just stuck with those. Like, had I known that,
Stick with the
mushrooms
ones.
and acid, like, that's the fucking way to go. Fuck this fake shit.
All right, man. Well, yeah, I gotta get out of this chair. It's like really.
All right.
No, this is perfect. We did we hit 2 hours?
No, we're at 139.
139.
Pretty
That's
close.
good.
There we
I'm
go.
down. Record for the longest.
It's like 3 hours something.
But it was someone who was here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next
All right.
time.
One of these days. All right,
All right,
love you,
brother.
man. Good talking to you.
See you soon,
Love you
bro.
guys.
Peace.
Have a good night.